It was crazy. I felt like every day I had new teammates. Actually, I remember being in the locker room and, I turn around and, we're playing a game in 10 minutes and I got like 3 new teammates. And I can remember that happened to me multiple times. I think I had the record for most teammates in a year. Yeah, so it was definitely stressful at times. I learned a lot, but it was a crazy experience.
And anything you learned during that time, that season of playing, that helped carry over into any business ventures that you're doing now?
Yeah, obviously, there was ups and downs, in that season, a lot of downs. Having to control my emotions from, not liking to lose, I wasn't used to it. And it was deeper than that, right? Create relationships and, those relationships will be gone just because, they would just trade people. So I think, in business, unexpected things happen and you got to adapt quickly. And so, in terms of adaptation towards, one thing happened to the next, I got firsthand experience on that.
Everybody, welcome back to Making Bread, where we talk about all the new ways to make money using the technology of 2022. I'm your host, NFL quarterback Matt Barkley. My guest today is a former NBA Rookie of the Year who has had his hands full recently with a number of different business ventures. He's the owner or founder of a crypto company, NFT company, a trading card company, and an AAU basketball team. And I'm excited to talk to him today about how to take your abilities beyond the arena and build a brand off the court. Michael CarterWilliams is here. What is up, man? Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Matt. I appreciate it. Just grinding out here, trying to get healthy, and at the same time, explore some different ventures and, see what I can come up with.
I love it. I love what you're doing off the court. On the court, do you still have plans to keep playing, to ride it out as long as you can? How's your body feeling?
Absolutely. Body's feeling good. I'm only 30, so I got some years to go. I want to hoop till the wheels fall off. So, I love the game. I love playing. I think I got a pretty good mind for it. So, I enjoy it. And I plan on playing, as long as I can.
That's right. There's nothing like ball. I love it. I remember we were drafted to Philadelphia the same year in 2013. I don't know if you knew that. I was drafted to the Eagles that year. And we also, USC, when I was in college there, we played Syracuse. We came out to MetLife Stadium, so not quite all the way up to Syracuse, New York, but we played
I'm sure you did us dirty.
the Orange Men. So I have a little bit of history. Did you ever play USC basketball?
No, never played USC basketball. Great program though. Never played, but used to watch you in the squad all the time at USC. Man, you guys had a bomb squad.
That seems like a long time ago at this point. But you played with the Sixers and the Bucks. Are you rooting for any specific team, or do you kind of follow players and the buddies that you've made along the way?
Yeah, Giannis and I we're good friends, so I'm always rooting for him. But it's tough though. It's tough. We definitely. One of my best friends, but he's playing against the home team, the Celtics. I've always been, before I got in the league, I was a huge Celtics fan.
Yeah, you're from Massachusetts, right?
Yeah. So, either one wins, I'm happy about. So, but yeah, it's nice to, have friends who are still playing and try to root for them a little bit.
Love it. Well, I want to hear your story. Want to hear all about what you're doing off the court. But before we get to that, get into some headlines around the space with a little bit of whale watching. See what we got, all right? Italy's Series A soccer team, they announced that they will be the first team to broadcast a game in the metaverse. The broadcast will feature interactive elements for fans at home. So if the NBA was going to follow the lead here, what interactive features would they put in a metaverse broadcast? How would that work?
To be honest, I don't know how it would work, but I think it would be cool to, the Oculus mask that you wear.
Yeah.
That you play games on. It would be cool to put one of those on and be able to sit like courtside of the game and watch the game. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they go in that direction. You could hear, obviously the sound of them, calling the game. But to be able to experience, real live games that close would be insane.
That would work. I know there's a company called NextVR that has been doing that with kind of live features. I don't know
Concerts,
what the metaverse.
Right?
Yeah. And so you get to sit courtside with the the headset on. I don't know what that would look like in the metaverse where it's actual live, or if you have an avatar still.
I saw a clip of Snoop Dogg in the studio, and somehow, some way, like you were able to be in the studio with him while he was like recording a song like live. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they come up with crazy things.
They'll find a way to monetize it, to use it to create a cooler brand experience, fan experience. But in other news, the Jordan brand has a new chief marketing officer, Shannon Watkins, the former senior vice president and CMO of Aflac. Nike Jordan is obviously still the biggest brand in basketball. I mean, I don't see this happening, but do you see any other company overtaking them in our lifetime?
No,
it's not happening.
No, I don't. No, won't happen.
Not like Converse has some
yeah.
crazy resurgence into basketball shoes, and everyone's wearing Converse again on the floor. No, not happening.
I doubt it. I mean, they got all the big stars, so most of them at least.
Most of them they do. Well, the great Bitcoin billionaire battles continue as Elon Musk took aim at Warren Buffett over cryptocurrency. Buffett said that if you offered him all the Bitcoin in the world for $25, he still wouldn't take it. Oh, what are we doing, Warren? So, I mean, I think Elon too, he LOL'd at the whole thing on Twitter while taking shots at Warren Buffett. But on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being Warren Buffett and being extremely skeptical about Bitcoin in this case, and 10 being Elon Musk, where you're sure it's the future of money, where are you at?
I'm Elon Musk 10 all the way.
11, 12, 13,
11,
14.
Yeah. I might be past Elon in this category.
He just said today, too, that Tesla was coming out as saying that Bitcoin will be a form of legal payment in not just Tesla's ecosystem, but just moving forward. They're very, very bullish on it, and so is he. But
yeah. No, I mean, I feel him 100%.
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I'm a 10 plus. All right, lastly, a bat used by Jackie Robinson, a baseball bat in the 1949 MLB All-Star Game, just sold at an auction for over $1 million. If you could own any piece of game-used memorabilia, any era, any sport, what item would you pick?
I'd probably have to go with... Man, that's tough. I mean, the first things that pop into my mind are like Michael Jordan's first pair of sneakers that he wore. But I feel like if I really sat down and thought about it, I could definitely come up with something crazy. Like, what if it's like does it have to be a wearable? What if it's like somebody's gold medal?
Any era, any sport. Like
anything goes. Yeah.
I think of any era, my mind goes to like some gladiator sword from like the 6th century BC true. Of that like fought in Rome or something, like NFT that or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
My mind, yeah. Yeah. Like Muhammad Ali's gloves would be dope.
Insane, yeah.
Like his gloves that he wore. That would be pretty insane. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways you can go.
Good call. NFT everything. There you go. All right, let's get down into it. You're doing some awesome things off the court. And as I said, we were both drafted Philly in 2013, and you were on a roll right away. You were on fire, on a tear, won Rookie of the Year with the Sixers. And then you got traded, though, just about a year later. I mean, they say sports is a business, but that kind of had to take you a little bit by surprise, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, big time. I didn't see it coming, obviously.
No.
I was in there, plans for the long term. You know how it is. I met with, the coaches, the GMs, the owners, we're going through plans of what we want for the future. And then I was gone. So, I mean, I guess it happens, but I couldn't tell you.
Did that affect the way you looked at basketball in, the NBA going forward? Like, okay, this really is a business.
For sure. Absolutely. That was a big awakening for me. I like I said, I didn't see it coming. It definitely was a big surprise, and that's when I really was like, okay, this is really a business. But even then, I was still so young. I didn't know,
right.
what to think. A 21-year-old kid. I was like, got traded, and then I was just, kind of going with the flow. I think a lot of athletes get caught up, not get caught up, but just that's what happens. You just go with the flow, and you don't really learn until later on.
It was that part of your career was part of the Sixers' infamous rebuild called the process. And for the non-sports we have listening, non-sports fans, the process, it was basically putting together really bad teams that would lose a bunch of games so they could get high draft picks and take players like you to try to be a better team.
Right. Yeah.
What was it like to be a part of those teams?
Yeah, it was crazy. I felt like every day I had new teammates. Actually, I remember being in the locker room and, I turn around and, we're playing a game in 10 minutes and I got like 3 new teammates. And I can remember that happened to me multiple times. Like, I think I had the record for most teammates in a year. So it was definitely stressful at times. I learned a lot, but it was a crazy experience.
And anything you learned during that time, that season of playing, that helped carry over into any business ventures that you're doing now?
Yeah, obviously, there was ups and downs, in that season, and there was a lot of downs. So, but having to control my emotions from not liking to lose, I wasn't used to it. And it was deeper than that, right? Create relationships, and those relationships will be gone just because people would just trade people. So I think in business things happen, unexpected things happen, and you got to adapt quickly. And so in terms of adaptation towards one thing happened to the next, I got firsthand experience on that.
Yeah, so many people just get stuck in one way they know of doing things, and when the scenery changes, there's no adaptation, there's no growth either. And
yeah.
I love that adaptation. I've been in some locker rooms too where there's turnover and you have new faces in every week, and there's new guys. And one thing that I always try to tell myself is that you could always learn from anyone in the room, whether that's a new teammate, a new coworker, a meeting that you walk into. Even when you're getting grilled, you can still learn from anyone around you, from their background, their pedigree, whatever their resume is. It doesn't matter. I think if you have that approach to really any situation, and now as we as athletes kind of gravitate more towards life off the field, how can we learn to almost play catch up, right? In a lot of these situations, I feel like there's always an opportunity to keep working. And in your business dealings now off the field, you're involved in a ton of different things. Let's start with the NFT company. It's called Players Only, and you founded it with 5 other basketball players, including Dennis Smith Jr. and Jeremy Grant. But tell me what you guys are trying to do that's different than what we see from other NFT companies right now.
Yeah, it's been a great experience with us. All 5 of us have never done an NFT project before, so learned a lot through that whole process. The thing that we're really trying to give is player engagement and experience. And I tell people all the time, the regular meet and greets are cool, but there's so many other things that fans and athletes enjoy other than just kind of that monotone same thing over and over again, right? Like we really wanted to show what we were interested in outside the off the court. And I think that we were able to just whether it was like myself, I love MMA and I love to watch UFC, so some of our holders are able to watch some UFC fights with me who are also interested in that. Jeremy, he loves video games, same thing with Terrence Ross, so people got to play against him, play against them in video games. So trying to engage with our holders and our fans in a different type of way. It's cool. Everybody loves autographed shoes and autographed jerseys, but I think it's cool to see have people see what else we're interested outside of our sport, and be able to engage with us in that.
It seems like NFTs have opened up this whole new realm of possibilities for kind of an updated fan base, an updated fan club, whether that is athletes or collectibles or musicians, bands, right? And providing real world utility for, the ultimate fan, not just someone who, that the day of got a ticket and showed up, or their friend brought them, whatever, but for dedicated fans who have invested through the NFT, and they're all in. They've bought in to the Michael CarterWilliams experience, right? They want to be a part of everything. This kind of provides an avenue that's verified, it's on the blockchain, and it's essentially like a one-of-one ticket for them, right?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people don't understand. Like, people just think NFTs are just a picture and they're worthless and this and that, but people don't understand what's really behind all this, right? Like, yeah, you could have a picture on your phone and you could snapshot it, but that still doesn't get you the experience. That still doesn't get you the utility. That's the key in all this. I think that the best projects provide the most utility and the most engagement. And I think that's the huge upside in NFTs. And you see guys, artists who are putting their music in NFTs now, and they're doing different things. Like, if you're a buyer of NFTs, you have a chance to win backstage tickets or passes, whatever. So yeah, it's on surface it looks kind of silly. Like, okay, yeah, I own a Bored Ape. I got a certain statue. It's like wearing a Rolex on the internet, right? Like, yeah, there's you see somebody with a Rolex, you're like, oh, he must be somebody. He's got money or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah. So same thing with the Bored Ape. It has that value to it, but also people don't know what it comes with. That what you're with that.
Yeah, because you can't always just show your Rolex at the door just to get into any club that you
exactly.
want to, right? Exactly. But as you're part of the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, which is a very distinguished, probably more exclusive than Rolex owners. I've seen on your social profiles. Tell people about the utility and what you, besides just a JPEG that you can put as your profile picture, what else does that provide?
Yeah, so the first thing, they provided a bunch of stuff before I even bought the Mutant Ape, but ever since I did buy it, they've dropped a coin, which is called the Ape Coin, and yep. Everybody that was a holder of an ape or a mutant ape, they allocated a free amount of coins, which when you transfer it into US dollars, it was a lot of money. It was like $14 a token at that time, and it's like 22, 23 now. So
it's real.
Real
payout.
It's real. So, yeah, so it's a real payout. It's a good amount of money, and that was just for free, right? That was so, say it's and they also did the same thing with their land in their metaverse that they're going to be coming out with, right? They gave people free land, and now people can build on that land, right? So it's almost like it's owning a piece of property. Yeah. People are going to build things and sell things on your property, and you get a cut of that. So there's many different things that you get to invited to different events, to meet holders and to meet people, and there's a bunch of there's cool people behind different projects, and meeting those people is also cool. But it's people that invest in these projects are getting good utility back from them, not just to have the stature of I have this picture.
More than a Rolex. Apes have more world utility than a Rolex. Who would have thought?
Absolutely.
Dude, so I was reading too in a Forbes article your involvement in a company called Wilder World, okay, about establishing a presence in the 5D metaverse. It's hard enough for me to wrap my head around 4D. Okay, we've all seen 3D on the TV right. or whatever, but what's going on in the future in 5D?
I honestly think that people are trying to capture that in-game experience, right? Like, you always have that conversation with your friends that, like, yo, wouldn't it be crazy to like actually be in a video game and playing Call of Duty, like walking around and stuff. So I think that they're trying to implement that. If anyone's ever used an Oculus, you can play different games on there where you're in a boxing ring and you can see your own gloves with they are your hands, and you're fighting and doing different things. And so I think they're trying to bring that to mainstream, really, right? Like, and just imagine, right, this is like the first time it's happened, right? Just yeah. so think of PlayStation 1, of what that looked like to what it looks like now, right? That evolution of where that's going is going to be was going to be massive, right? And people right. think there's a misconception of people being like, oh, NFTs are it's too late for me to buy an NFT, or it's too late for me to get into this and that. But what I always use, if you go into a grocery store and you ask 10 people what are NFTs and what do they do, no one's going to know, right? So, once that catches up, once you're able to go and anywhere and people talk about NFTs, and then that's where the game is, right? Like, that's where that evolution is. So people still got time.
I'm with you. Does something like Wilder World in that 5D experience involve hardware like on your body to provide like haptic feedback? Because I've seen, you've seen people like wearing the Oculus or wearing a headset walking around a room. It looks like an empty room to an outsider, but when you put the headset on, you're immersed in this experience that has you 360 degree, and if you get shot, it'll shock your system. Is that kind of 5D in a way?
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to feel, being able to touch, see, that's definitely 5D. I've seen like Instagram posts about it, like a Call of Duty game where you're walking around, and if you get hit, you feel it a little bit. So it definitely it's happening.
Merging the physical and the digital. That's nuts. So you've been in the NBA.
I actually saw this video. Go.
No, go for it.
No, I was going to say, I actually saw this video. This guy lives in the metaverse. So he doesn't take his Oculus off. Like, so he walks around.
That's like Ready Player One type of life.
Definitely. That's exactly what it is. Ready Player One is the perfect explanation of like where like people in these metaverses want to go.
Nuts. Okay, so you've been in the NBA for almost a decade now, and you've had tremendous success on the court, made a bunch of money. But when in your career did you start thinking about how to carry that success over to, off the court stuff and, business related, investing related ventures?
Yeah. I think it was during COVID and during when I was injured, right? Like I had a foot surgery. I had 2 foot surgeries on the same foot. So I've been out for a pretty long time, and I was like, man, I can't walk. I got to do something with my time. I can't just sit around here and twiddle my thumbs watching TV. So, I was already a little bit into NFTs. I just was like, I was an early investor in NBA Top Shot, like was real interested, did some stuff for them. There's a company called Zed Run as well. I did some stuff for them, and they race horses, which is really you think it's boring, but it's fun. It's a real fun. Like you get into it. Yeah, you root for your horse.
Horse racing is exhilarating.
Yeah. So like there was, and then I was like, okay, like I see people. I started talking to different people who were making real money off this, and I was like, I just wanted to see what it was like, just to go down that avenue, just to explore different businesses. And I also think like even for athletes, like people don't know how much not power, but people don't know how much people are willing to work with them, especially if they know what they're doing, right? Like they'll be like, oh man, this athlete knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He can speak for himself. He's not like, just I'm going to throw my money into something and then let it grow, like whatever. But like that to me was the biggest thing. I was like, okay, anything that I really want to do, I have the contacts to do it. I just have to apply myself to it, right? Like, and that's what really got me going was, being out, being injured, and really like, okay, there's other things that I can do other than, put the ball in the hoop.
Right. No doubt. And I know more and more athletes are getting involved in these kind of spaces, and I'd love for you to kind of put some numbers on it for me. I know what an NFL locker room kind of looks like, but what percentage of NBA players do you think are into crypto, NFTs, metaverse, just kind of Web3 in general?
Probably no more than 5%.
No more than 5%?
Probably no more. And like there, I can count on the list of hands that everybody. Well, they're okay. There might be more guys that have allocated crypto like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but right. I think like if that like if you're counting like just that, then there's probably about 15 to 20%.
That counts
because people. Yeah, I know. Okay, so then like I would say about 15-20%.
Don't discredit the Bitcoin maximalists out there, okay?
No. Believe me, if I could throw a chunk of change at Bitcoin, I would. But yeah, I think it's just so unfamiliar, and people have a hard time understanding it, right? As soon as and that's another thing. Once it gets simplified to where like, there's a lot of things that go into it. You gotta, you gotta have a hardware wallet or a MetaMask, and you gotta know how to transfer your money in and out, and all these things that are, if you have a coin, you may have to swap it, on another website, and what I mean. There's just so many different things that you kind of have to know, and like the questions that people have to show you. Like I remember, like even for our NFT, like None of the athletes that I was working with had a MetaMask. I had to show everybody how to do it. You know what I mean? And so it's like it takes some time. It's not easily accessible. So I think once that happens too, more people will be into it.
Yeah, maybe I'm just used to a larger sample size with larger teams in the NFL. I guess more guys are kind of talking about it. One thing that I think maybe athletes are more accustomed to would be like trading cards. Your rookie deals. You're signing, card after card after card till your hand goes numb. And I know that you are involved, the co-founder of a company called Celebrities and Card Breaks. So for my listeners who don't know a thing about the in and outs of modern card collecting, which has had a major rebound the last couple of years, tell me what you guys do over there at Celebrities and Card Breaks.
Yeah, so at Celebrities and Card Breaks, my friend and I, we both collect cards. I started collecting kind of recently when Panini dropped their UFC cards. I'm a big MMA guy, so there was like, okay, I can grab everyone's rookie card. It's kind of like the beginning. He collects baseball, basketball, football, pretty much everything. And he actually came up with the idea like, hey, we should start a breaking company. So I was like, let me watch a couple breaks. I've never,
okay, what's
I
a
wasn't
break?
into it. I just like
define that. What's a break?
Okay, yeah, my bad. So a break is, say if we're on, Instagram Live or, whatever, whatnot, whatever. You go online, you buy cards online, and that person who was selling them, they open a pack of cards for you, right? So say, and again, a different type of play of engagement with athletes, right? We want to take athletes who are, interested in the card game and have them go on a live screen and, buy cards from. We have someone else who owns our part of our ownership of our business is Blaze Jordan. He's a prospect for the Red Sox, right? So his cards are really big in Bowman First and all that stuff. Yeah. So he goes. So sometimes he went on and he opened cards for a bunch of people, right? And it's like two card holders to card lovers. That's a big thing, right? To have a have a card that is ripped by someone like Blaze Jordan, right? People will never forget that moment. They can keep that moment, they can record it on their phone, they can keep it forever, and everybody always remembers. It's a weird thing, right? You always remember, like, you hit a really good card, you remember where you are, you remember what you were doing, you remember the day you ripped it, like, so that's what we're trying to do. Cool. But it's cool, man. I'm addicted to it, man. I go on, I watch people rip cards all day, and
you can get lost. Some of the craziest I mean, you can watch those videos. It's kind of like unboxing videos where you can just get sucked in the next one. Or like they even have them for kids. It's something in our neural systems, something in our brains where like these kids will watch like the unboxing of toys or like the break, like just there's something with like it's opening crazy. A deck, not knowing what's next, and then just getting an exclusive or a one of one and. Like the whole chat's going nuts. That's awesome. I love hearing that. Okay, we're crushing this right now. But I just want to kind of get your take because I know there's a lot of young players look to vets like yourself for advice. I mean, it's hard for me to even say, but we're those old vets now in the locker room, right? And I know guys look up to you. But what would you tell a young player about kind of expanding your brand and financial portfolio off the court and how to make that work for them?
I would say, like, you always hear the old, the ball stops bouncing, or, the knees give out, like at some point, but, obviously it's true. Like, you can make all the money in the world playing your sport, but, a lot of people, the lifestyle they live, that doesn't hold for, the rest of their life. And, when you are playing is the best time where you can, reach, some of your goals off the court, right? Like it's hard to, be out the league and people, answering your phone calls and this and that. But when you're in the league and you are playing, people get back to you with urgency. So like, and everybody says, it's hard once you're out the league, it's hard to either get back in or find, other things to do. Like, the best time to do things is when you are, active and people can see your face and, they're more willing to work with you then. So, finding things that you like to do outside of sports, obviously don't take that drive, don't take that focus away. But, I feel like there's a lot of athletes that are talented in other things that, could help them out financially. Not everybody in the NFL and the NBA makes 25-30 million dollars a year. So there's things that's the advice that I would give them, right? Like, obviously, save your money, don't do dumb things with it, but there's definitely a lot of opportunity out there.
I think that advice is perfect and is spot on too, because having other aspects of your life that give you value, give you fulfillment, helps you transition from an athlete to whatever you decide to do post your career, to where you're not all tied up in your sport, and that's not the only thing that you've known. If you can do, the more you can do while you're still playing, to remain kind of level-headed and stay focused, but have other avenues where when that sport ends one day and everything falls out, you have something to rely on or to fall back on, or to even keep trajecting towards the top with, because you've kind of been in that space for a while, right?
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, you're 100% right. That transition is huge.
Yeah. All right. Well, this podcast, as you know, is kind of a cross section of business and sports. So I prepared a little game segment in that world.
Okay.
You've been very lucky in your career to play with and for a number of future Hall of Famers. I took to eBay, all right, to find some unique collectibles, and the game is simple. I'm going to give you a buy it now price, and you have to tell me if the item is higher or lower than the price I gave you, okay?
Yeah.
Let's see how well you know
are awful.
your teams. Here we go. This is going to be interesting.
Ooh, let's do it.
Number one, in Milwaukee, you played for head coach Jason Kidd. Right now on eBay, you can buy his game-worn jersey from the 96 NBA All-Star Game. Is that price tag higher or lower than $7,500?
I'll go lower.
As a diss to Jason Kidd, you are correct. It is $49.99, so pretty much $5,000 for a game-worn jersey, Jason Kidd. 1 for 1. Good start. While you were on the Bucks, you also played with a young man named Giannis. He turned out to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. Right now, you can get his select Black Prism autographed rookie card. It's a 101, rated 8 out of 10 by Beckett, which is pretty hard to come by.
Higher.
Is the price tag higher or lower than $450,000?
$450,000? I'm sorry, Yanni. I got to go lower than 450. I know it's a 101.
You were saying higher. I didn't know if you.
I know. I didn't know you were going to 450 G's though. Oh man, I don't know though, cause.
All right, higher or lower than 50K?
Wait. Did you say 450 or?
I'm playing games with you now.
Yeah, no, it's higher than. I'd go higher than 50K.
It is higher. It's $500,000 for that rookie card.
Jesus,
nutty. We'll give you that
crazy.
Correct. You were saying higher. You believe in it anyway. 2 for 2.
I do.
All right, number 3, in Chicago, you play with Jimmy Butler. Right now, there are 14 different Jimmy Butler bobbleheads available. So is the average price of a Jimmy Butler Bulls bobblehead higher or lower than $40 for a bobblehead?
Higher.
It's just below $30 on average.
Okay.
It kind of ranges 15 all the way up to 90. So there are some. I don't know what would make those.
Yeah, I don't know why would some be 15 and some be 90.
Scratches or scuffs are still in the box. I don't know.
True.
All right, we're doing good. Let's see what else you got. You also played with Dwayne Wade on that Bulls team. Now, there's not a ton of Dwayne Wade Bulls merch on eBay, but I did manage to find one thing, a collector's cup. They sold this in the arena, right, when you go to the concession, and it holds like 128 ounces of soda, like a big boy. It's huge, okay? Mm-hmm. So is this cup, is the price higher or lower than $15?
Cups are expensive nowadays.
These are hard lines.
That is a tough line. I'm going to go higher.
You're right. $20.99. Just about $15.
Yeah.
for all 128 ounces. All right. Finally, we go to Houston, where you played with 3 future Hall of Famers. First up, another Syracuse product like yourself, Carmelo Anthony. Right now, you can go on eBay and get a signed Carmelo jersey from Syracuse, a Syracuse jersey, limited edition, 1 of 15 with a Beckett COA. Is that price higher or lower than $750 for a Syracuse Carmelo Anthony jersey?
I'm going to go higher because it does have the Beckett grading on there, so I'm going to go higher.
You are correct. That does make it higher. $888.88 for some reason. All 8s.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's lucky. Number 8 is lucky in a lot of cultures, so then maybe that's it. Higher. You are correct. All right, number 6. You also play with Chris Paul in Houston, who has an alter ego named Cliff Paul in some of his State Farm commercials. So on eBay right now, you can get a limited edition pair of Cliff Paul Argyle Jordan sneakers produced by Nike. Is this price higher or lower than $500?
I'm going to go with higher.
You are correct. Cliff Paul Argyle Jordans. There you
That's
go.
crazy.
Last but not least on that Rockets team, James Harden. And this one is a doozy, okay? Hang on. Right now, you can go on eBay and get a 7-foot-tall James Harden statue, not like a cardboard cutout or a fat head or whatever. This is a statue, okay? It's bigger than the actual James Harden in real life. It costs $300 to ship, and the product description says you'll need access to a loading dock to receive it, all right? Is the buy it now price on eBay higher or lower than $10,000?
I got to go lower. And now I'm surprised James hasn't bought it, though.
Put it in his own house.
Right.
It is actually higher, $12,000 for a larger-than-life statue of James Harden. Would you put a statue of yourself in your house?
No, there's no way.
No
way.
No chance. All right, well, bonus question. Autographed Michael CarterWilliams 76ers jersey. Also on eBay, is it higher or lower than $200?
I'm going to go higher, hopefully.
You are correct. $209.95.
Let's go. Yes. Run it up.
Someone's going to buy it now, though. I'm going to go push the price up to at least $220 for you, okay?
All right. Cool,
no, if that was an NFT, you'd be getting royalties from it every time someone else purchases it. I don't know.
Exactly.
We're on to something here.
And everybody eats.
Everybody eats. Dude, well, that is it for this episode. Michael, thanks so much, dude, for joining me, talking basketball, NFTs, the metaverse, investing, your experience, dude. That was awesome. If you guys enjoyed the show, please remember to rate and leave a review or subscribe if you haven't already so that you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Barkley, and this has been Making Bread.